So I don't think you had a chance to see the end of the trial. So what ended up happening here in Texas, we have a two-phase trial. So a defendant is allowed to decide if he will go to the judge or jury for punishment. And so in this case, the defendant decided if he were found guilty, he would go to the jury for punishment.
Yeah.
And so what the court does is once the jury enters punishment, the court does not have any jurisdiction or legal authority to change whatever sentence a jury gives somebody. So in that case, the jury wanted him to have probation. So I gave him probation. And when the jury comes back with their verdict of punishment, it always has to be in writing. Their verdict has to be in writing. So with regards to their verdict for punishment, they put in writing that they wanted him to have probation. Now, the only time a judge has legal authority with regards to trials, other than when people are making objections, with regards to a jury, if a jury comes back and says somebody is guilty, if there's no evidence really that they should have found the person guilty, then I can come in and say, you know what, notwithstanding your verdict, I'm going to find this person not guilty. That rarely happens because usually, at least it rarely happens in Texas, because usually there's enough evidence that's been submitted. But with punishment, once you go to the jury decides the punishment. The only thing, like, for example, in that trial, the only thing I get to decide is what conditions of probation they will have and how long their probation is. So the longest probation a person can have for felonies, I'm not talking about state jail felonies, but other felonies in general is 10 years. And then the longest you can have somebody in custody for treatment for time as a condition of probation is like a year. Well, state jail felonies, the length of probation you can give somebody to start with is limited to 5 years. So if somebody had a state jail felony, I can't say off the bat, oh, I'm going to give you 10 years probation. It's not allowed legally. But your DWIs, anything that's not a state jail felony, that's a felony. And of course, there's some exceptions because you have some hybrid cases, right? But normally the length of probation is 10 years. But the judge always sets conditions of probation. So for example, if I were to give somebody probation, the most time I can give them in the Bexar County Jail as a condition of giving them probation is 180 days. I can't go beyond that. If I go beyond that, it's an illegal sentence. Yeah. And so, of course, I would never go beyond that because I have to follow the law. So judges set conditions. That's why when you hear me doing pleas and they have things outside the agreement, and maybe they'll suggest, oh, we want this person to have 2 years probation. It's just their recommendation to me because they can't force me to give them 2 years probation. Yeah. You're welcome.
To be clear, it's not just that they limit her to 10 years. It's all judges. It's not like they're just picking on her by limiting her to 10 years of probation.
Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please.
All right. So what started this argument at the Shoe Palace?
So it had nothing to really do with me. It was just me and a group of my friends. It was someone's birthday. We were just in the mall cashing out like $3,000 worth of stuff. So it was girls behind us. One of them got behind my friend and I told her, I said, hey, it looks like this girl is gonna hit you. Next thing I know, this girl did hit my friend. Mind you, I moved out the way. I didn't fight. I didn't do any of
Can I
that.
ask you this, please, so that just.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So we're just buying stuff up at the mall. One of the girls was behind my friend. I told my friend, hey, this girl it's looking like she's gonna do something to you. The girl actually did hit my friend. So the people that I was with, everybody fought except for me. I'm on the sideline. You can see it on cameras. I'm on the sideline doing nothing. So I walk out of the store and we're all walking towards the exit. 7 or 8 security guards run up behind me and the guy didn't even give me a chance to say anything, do anything. He was aggressive towards me and I got scared. And I told him, hey, get out of my face, da 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 da, whoop de whoop whoop.
Okay, let me ask you something. Do you think the court reporter can take da 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 whoop whoop whoop
No.
down?
I'm sorry. No, ma'am.
So Maria,
Yes.
that's da 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 whoop whoop whoop. And I may have missed one of the da 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 dots.
I'm sorry. So they just started. So the security man.
All right, so let me just tell you.
Yes, ma'am.
Security guard is saying you caught him in the eye with your fingernail. Were you wearing those nails?
They were longer, and I'm sorry.
They were longer?
Yes, ma'am.
So it caught him in his eye.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why we're here.
And I do apologize about that, but at the same token, if 7 men was coming at you, you would be scared too. If 7 men threw you into an iron gate, you would feel the same way I do.
Oh, I would have picked up the phone and called the police
Oh,
if
they
I'm
was
at the
already-
shoe palace.
They were already there. That's the
Here's
thing.
my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why was a girl behind your friend looking like she was going to hit her? What was going on?
They was hating on us.
All right, why?
Cause we was in the mall just catching up, just spending a lot of piece of change. That's a nice mall, spending some money.
Shoe palace?
No, okay, well, I like shoes. I don't know about everybody else, but we spent a lot of money in the mall that day.
And which mall was this?
The one that's got the big boots on the outside of it that I'm not allowed to go
North
back
Star?
to.
Okay. All right. You know what somebody said in a program that I watch? He said, wealthy people don't spend their money on fancy items because they're wealthy. They don't need to spend a lot of money so people can see that they're wealthy. He said poor people, some, will never obtain wealth because they keep buying stuff to show that they're wealthy. Like I never understood when people would buy, like for example, the Hermes bag. That bag is like $20,000, maybe more, 120,000. Some of them. It's like people buy that bag, 120,000, poor people financially, and they don't have $20,000 to put in the bag. They like maybe have $100. But here's the thing: you got in a fight at the shoe palace, and the security guard got hit by your long nail.
I didn't.
If
fight
you would have,
anybody.
here's the thing: if you would have had your natural nails on, maybe he wouldn't have been injured.
Mhm.
But this is where we are. So the people you were with who are listed in here: Tahaya Lovejoy, Linda Marie Lovejoy.
Who? I don't know.
You don't know any of them? Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do. Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's a $400 fine that will be probated. Do you have any children?
No.
All right. I know you say you love shoes. Not at the shoe palace anymore.
Okay.
So no contact with the shoe palace. And I tell you what, I'll do no contact at the shoe palace at North Star Mall. Far be it from me to take away your ability to go to all the shoe palaces.
Okay.
So shoe palace at North Star. All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can come back to this court and we can compare shoes.
Okay.
All right. All right. Probation will speak with you. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.